Because there is a winning formula.
Literally.
Some of these companies, they know what the formula is.
We don't have to be hustling and bustling.
It doesn't have to be a struggle. Like, that was on the Friday.
Yeah.
On the Monday, I got a call from my former boss.
Not a few hours later.
I think that's the crazy thing about trying to do things by yourself. Is sometimes when you just ask God, he even if it doesn't come from him, he'll direct you in how to do things or how to get what you're looking for. So it's literally that simple sometimes.
Literally. I absolutely love that because I have experienced the same thing.
Also the things that people were asking God for back then.
Actually,
and
audacious.
God was like, I bet,
No,
bet.
literally.
People really are making money.
Welcome in. You're listening to Feminine Audacity. So many women hold back from asking for what they want. The job, the raise, the opportunity, the kind of relationship, because they feel unqualified, undeserving, or afraid of hearing no. When the truth is, we've already been given the blueprint. Ask and you shall receive. As you align yourself, everything changes. Today, we're talking about the power of asking for it. If you've been considering making a career switch, going into corporate, or you're struggling, you're thinking, how come everyone's getting everything? They're so lucky. What's happening? Then this is the episode for you. We'll unpack how true power is in asking, knowing how to ask and feeling worthy of receiving what you're asking for. And today we have a lovely guest who got into corporate from asking, right? So let me introduce her for you. We have Nana Aikins, a beautiful lady who went from running her own business straight out of uni, a luxury jewellery brand, to landing a powerful corporate role in one of Africa's largest banks with no prior experience in finance, and recently got promoted to the business development manager in just over 2 years. This story starts from asking, guys, asking for it, from being audacious in entrepreneurship to succeeding in corporate and openly sharing how you can do so too on her TikTok, on her Instagram. Her story is a reminder of how much faith and the courage to ask and how doors can open for you that you didn't even know existed. So let us welcome in Nana.
Thank you. That was such a great intro. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here. As I said to you, I think this is such a beautiful topic. And I think also coming in, or rather closing the year, now that we're in Q4 and we're about to start a brand new year, I think a lot of people are at a point where they're strategizing, thinking about what's next, what's happening in the new year. I know, we can start at any time, but most people start in the new year. Yeah. So I think it's a very, very fitting topic for a lot of people at this time.
Oh, I'm glad you're loving it. So we'll start with a bit of an icebreaker to get into the topic of asking. And, obviously we know you got into corporate through asking. We know you're our corporate big sister, right? You've spoken about how some people ask, how do I get a raise? How do I get a promotion? How do I land a job? Asking, right? Sometimes they just haven't asked. So I want to know, what is the most audacious thing you've asked for outside of corporate, just in general in life?
100,000.
Oh,
I'm joking.
that you've got also.
I'm joking.
But to play a quick game before we get into it, so it's just a pick one, right? It's just to get to see your side, my side, where we're at. First one is corporate versus entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Since you've been in both.
It's hard, right? Because they're so different and each of them has its own benefit.
Yeah.
I think in my heart, I think naturally I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I will lean more towards entrepreneurship because I feel like I can be more of myself in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Whereas in corporate, you can be yourself, but there's some sort of you have to assimilate to the environment, and it is what it is. That just comes with the territory. But when you are an entrepreneur, you get to be yourself and you get to express yourself, even just through your products and through how you want to run your business and through your social media and, just so many different ways where you can show through your product or your business, right? So in that sense, being an entrepreneur, there's so much freedom to that as well. But sometimes you just need a bit of structure. So not to discourage that, I'm in corporate for a reason, So there are things that I'm enjoying about corporate as well. But I think if I had to pick one, it'd be entrepreneurship.
Okay, that's interesting. I totally get that in terms of you get to do it your way. Especially because you get to grow with your business and entrepreneurship. It's yours. So it's like
Exactly.
you decide how it grows, and it shows with you growing also. Second one, a soft, slow morning routine or a slow night routine.
I'm not a morning person.
Really?
I've tried this year. I've really tried. Like, I really, really, really tried. And at some point I was, but I realized like I'm fighting tension. Like I'm going.
You're fighting against yourself.
Yeah, I'm going. Like I'm literally fighting against myself. So
Oh my.
I think a slow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think I have slow nights. Like from Monday to Friday, I'm at home. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually do both.
Yeah, I do. I literally do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then 6,000 for braids. If they know or no, or 6,000 on like a full spa day.
It's so funny for the question.
I absolutely love that because I have experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll give context in a bit, but
Or the braids because they last longer. Also,
Yes.
6,000 on a spa experience.
it's like, is it worth it for the day?
Yeah, I'm not like that. I mean, I think there's other ways to treat yourself.
Okay.
But when your hair's done,
Yeah,
you can't beat
you're
that
up.
feeling. There's no spa feeling that will beat the feeling where your hair's done.
I guess I'll give him context a bit, but there was a whole TikTok situation of Nana's braids and everyone just like, oh my gosh, how could you pay 6,000? There was a whole thing, hey?
It was a whole thing, but it's just funny because I'm not the only one. It's just because I said it.
No, literally.
I said, oh, by the way, you know.
Mine was like, someone paid 1.2 for cornrows. So I didn't even know about
I saw
this.
that video.
Oh, do you see it?
And the worst thing is when people take your content on TikTok and they take it to Twitter, X, for it to be discussed there. I saw it and I
You
was
saw
like,
it on
"Ish."
X even. I'm not even there to know what's happening.
Yeah, I did
But-
see that video actually.
Ish.
And
And
I feel like
then-
that was a bit of rage bait though.
It was, yeah.
But
Because
I-
it was like,
Cornrows.
when you heard a story, you get like, oh, okay.
But cornrow,
It wasn't just the cornrows, that's the thing.
anyway,
so it's
I'm not in a position to judge at all.
Actually.
I'm really not in a position to judge. Let me not say anything.
And then traveling with a group of friends or traveling with one person, since you're a travel girly.
Yo. See, when you travel with a group of friends, you really need to all be on the same wavelength, right? Because you have two types of travelers. You have the ones that go and rest.
Yeah.
Then you have the ones that go have a good time, you know?
I'm the good time one.
Yeah, I'm also the good time one. So I
Yeah.
can't be telling you get dressed and you're like, no, I want to sleep. I don't want to hear that.
Sleep.
You sleep when we come back.
Literally.
So I think traveling with one friend where you guys know what the mission is
What
or
we're
what the
up to.
plan is or what we're going there to do. Like obviously at not all countries you're going there to have the time of your life. Like some
Yeah.
countries really do call for you to just
Lay
take a
back.
beat, slow down, relax. But I mean, I think the past few places that I've been to, it's really just been like we outside, you know? Like your friend
okay.
is gonna be like, yeah, we outside for real.
We're outside. No, I'm the same. I think I would like if everyone in the group was like, we're outside. Then
Yeah.
I'd choose the group setting.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can like I've seen also like I love like girl vlogs where everyone is on that level.
You're literally, everyone's up, excited.
Exactly.
Then the last one is just, what would you title this season of your life?
What month we are in? 8. 8 is the number of completion, isn't it?
7, I think. Was it 8?
No, we're in 10. This is October is the 10th month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. Yo,
We're
time
far.
is, yeah, time is flying. It feels like completion.
Okay.
Even though like, I think the past couple of months have felt like completion. I think this year I've been so focused. Like when I was literally writing, like my list to God in like end of December, I was like, these are all the things that we're doing this year. Like here's
the list.
Here's the list.
To-do list.
This is the
Thank
to-do
you.
list. We're working on these things. So like when like it had when I got promoted, it had a domino effect for me. It enabled me to do so many other things that I wanted to do.
Okay.
I haven't done everything, and I think even in me achieving or me growing in that aspect, I think I realized that actually some things you realize yourself on your own that just because you have this doesn't mean like what you really wanted can wait, you know? So it feels like completion.
Okay.
I don't know, like, I mean, I feel like completion is a boring title.
No, but it's a strong title. Like, wow.
Yeah, I think that's how I feel.
To even get to that point is...
And it's crazy because I feel like I haven't felt like this in a very long time. It's been a while since I felt like, wow, like as you get to the end of the year, like I feel like cool, I've completed some things that I really wanted to do. Like,
Yeah.
great, I can actually close the year knowing that I've tried, I've
Yeah.
tried and I've done
Got
what I
things
need.
done.
Yeah, I got things done. Like it's sometimes, it can be a bit discouraging when you keep trying and you look back and you can't see any physical results.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what the process is, or what progress is. It's like the things unseen, but you're working towards something.
Going.
So
Yeah.
when you get to the top of the mountain, it's like, wow,
We're finally getting somewhere.
we're finally getting somewhere. So yeah, that's
Okay.
how it, more than a title, I think that's how I feel.
Okay, I think we'll get into that. I guess for people watching to know as we start the new year, as we're preparing, how to have that kind of year of like, okay, because it's common to have those years where it's like, what have I really
What
done?
have I done?
What's
Yeah.
going on? Am I moving anywhere?
And it's not a bad thing. I mean,
It's
that's
part of it.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
It's literally part of it. You can't always be completing things all the time.
Every year is a year up.
And I think also the bigger your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, the process will be a lot longer than the moment or the feeling of completion.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true. It's like it's a big goal for a reason. You take a lot.
Exactly.
But let's take it back now to before you started your business, right? So before you got into corporate, you had studied a Bachelor of Social Science and then got your master's in Management of Governance, right? Congrats, firstly.
Thank you.
A big deal. So did you always know what you wanted to do career-wise? Did you always know you wanted to go into business? You mentioned a bit like it's in your heart. Was it always a thing for
Can I
you?
tell you something so funny?
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was a black sheep of the family.
Really?
I think I've shocked a lot of people in life
You're
because
just like, what's happening?
literally because like I didn't have like. Can I tell you something? I didn't even have a plan like before I finished matric. You know, like how like in like from grade 11 to beginning matric, you write your prelims and then you like apply to the universities that you want to go to.
Yeah.
You get like provisionally accepted and you kind of know like, okay, cool. The only thing that I need to do now is just do
Finish,
well
yeah.
and then I'll go. Like I did not have a plan until the very end.
Really?
Like I literally did not know what I wanted to do.
You're just going through the year
I was
hoping.
just literally I was so committed to just living my life
Yeah.
that you don't like
I love that.
I didn't want to overthink anything, So, and I only applied to the top 3 universities,
Okay.
and I said, if none of
Wow.
them take me, then I'll figure it
We'll
out.
see.
Yeah. So I applied to UP. I didn't get into UP. I didn't get into Wits to study law because I actually wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah, and
What?
I did not get into. They didn't accept
That
me
said
for
no,
that.
ma'am.
They said nah, not yet. And then I think UCT was the last university to release their acceptance.
Wow.
So my parents, like, as I'm updating them,
Side eyeing.
they're just like.
ma'am.
So when like they said the congratulations, I said wow. And mind you, I had
Wow.
never been to Cape Town before then. I'd never been to Cape
Stop.
Town. Like I'd never been. So like
It's a whole new.
accommodation, we didn't know what was going to go down. Like planning flights, like there was no plan. And when I say like until like
Got that? Congrats.
like maybe until like my 4th year, like my honors, I
Yeah.
had no plan in life. Literally.
You're just going through it.
And that's actually what ended up. Well, that's how I ended up doing my masters, because in an African household, if you don't have a plan, the plan is to study.
You just keep studying.
You literally keep studying.
I'm literally.
There's no child that will sit idly in my
Like, go
father's
learn
house.
something.
Go learn something at the very
Like,
least.
Oh
So,
my. So that's how you keep going on.
literally. So, yeah, like, so the plan, to the honest answer that there was no plan, even for like, the entrepreneurship. So I started my business when I was in my 2nd year of my master's.
Okay.
That was in 2021.
Just after all the year
That
of
was
COVID.
during COVID. And how I started is because like people hardly really speak about yes, COVID was a really tough time for everyone's health.
Yeah.
But I think like the physical health part of things, right?
Yeah,
But I
definitely.
think some things that aren't really spoken about often is how mentally draining COVID was. like going from a life of always seeing your friends whenever you want, going to the grocery store whenever you want,
Go.
just like even just taking a walk in the park, to like level 5 lockdown,
Girl.
only essential,
Trapped.
like you at home. So it I think as someone who's just like a naturally outgoing person, it was very mentally difficult for me.
Okay.
And at the time, like school only consumes so much time of your day. Like you have lectures, 3 lectures a day, an hour long each. You do a bit of schoolwork.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Now you're still in the same place.
Literally. So what do you
Haven't
do?
moved.
What do you do with your time? And I think I prayed. I said, God, no, I'm really suffering here. Like this is not. I can't,
Not mentally
like,
stimulating enough.
it's not mentally stimulating. I'm not okay. Like this is just so foreign to me. I said, please give me something to do.
Really?
Yeah,
That's how it came.
And funny enough, I was an au pair when I was doing my master's. So because the schools had closed, I lost my job as well.
I see. So something else that was also keeping you busy is gone.
And even besides being busy, that little bit of independence, like that bit of financial freedom, to not always ask your parents for money. Can I have money for this? Can I have money for that? Was also gone.
Now
So
you're back.
You see. So I said, God, please give me something to do that I can make a bit of money from. Just something,
Yeah.
And one day,
How did it come, the idea?
like I was scrolling and I saw a page that sold similar jewelry. And I said, this is really nice. And then at the time, like we've really progressed when it comes to imports, like import-export in South Africa.
Yeah.
Because at the time, like to import like one necklace was like something crazy, like $80. So it was the import, the shipping fee plus import was more than the actual value of the item. And I said, no, man.
Excuse me.
I was like, this doesn't make sense.
How do you start a business like that?
So then I was like, actually, I'm gonna do this.
You're like, this is what I'm doing.
I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna do this.
Oh my, it's so interesting because actually, for me coming to meet you, I guess, I have a Sleett necklace like you're supposed to be wearing today. I'll show you.
Never told me that.
Really?
Yes, you never told me that.
It's right here.
Oh
I was
my
supposed to put it on.
goodness.
Let me show them for people watching online.
You never mentioned that.
Literally, I don't even know how I forgot that.
That's so sweet. Like
I got it as a graduation gift even.
I literally
from my
love when
honors.
people show me like this is so sweet.
Let me show you guys. How cute.
That's super sweet.
But oh yes. So now the pivot, because obviously you started your business, COVID time. Let's talk about how that was going, how that started, because I was trying to look for your piece again, right? Then I saw under construction. I was like, oh, what had happened here? So when you met, you were speaking about how God was pivoting you from entrepreneurship into corporate.
Yeah.
But first, I guess we can touch on Sleett as a whole. How it started, how you made it successful. Like I had seen you raised it to 800,000, right? Top, was it 16% on Shopify? So from one idea God gave you, said, hey, here's something to do.
Yeah.
How did you now run with it to make it what it became?
Yeah, you see, when it just shows sometimes when you ask God for things, He gives you more than what you expected, because literally it was just something.
You just said, please, something small.
Something small, just something to keep me busy.
Actually, yeah, that's a big thing. He'll give you more than even.
You see, so I think that I really do owe the success of my brand at the time. Number one, to it's so great to have supportive friends.
Okay.
Because my friends really it's great when, I think one of the keys when it comes to building a brand is to make it part of a lifestyle, where people don't just see it as a product, but they see it as something that you use every day or something that's part of your life.
Part of them.
And I think like something that my friends really rode for me on is like every single thing that they went to, any event that they went out on, like they were always wearing Sleett. All of my friends,
Jeez,
literally all of my friends, like,
okay.
and they did it without me asking, you know. Like I think sometimes like starting a business can be difficult for people because you don't know if you'll get the support that you need.
Yeah.
You know, like starting like launching on day one and you make one sale or you make no sales can be discouraging.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a community around you that's encouraging you every single day, it's easy to give up, you know. But I think like seeing, you know, my own community really believing in this product, like, yes, you know, even some of my own personal things, I'll be like, yo, Nana, I'm going out. Do you have something for me to wear, you know, that you haven't released? Yeah. So it, like, I think seeing that really, that kind of belief kind of spread, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people started seeing, okay, what is this?
Everyone's...
Where's this brand
yeah.
from? Post on, and that's also the power of social media. You post something and you get...
That's how I found it even.
You see, you post
one of your
something,
friends posting.
You see, like literally, like people underestimate the power of social media and the power of social proof.
Yeah.
Like literally someone seeing this and saying, wow, this is as good as how they're making it seem to be. So yeah, I think that having a really strong community that really repped me from the very beginning, I'll always say that they've been a very integral part, even just like behind the scenes, like encouraging me, giving me ideas, even telling me what they want, because they are also my customers.
Yeah, they know firsthand what we're looking for.
Exactly. And my friends are all so different,
Okay,
so
yeah.
they don't have one type of style.
Yeah.
So it was great because they'd always, give me feedback. Yo, like a friend of mine also bought this and they're looking for this kind of thing. Or, my little sister has a matric dance. Do you have something for her? And that's also now a new audience that came about.
Oh yeah, I see.
Now the younger kids were wearing
the chick dances were new market completely.
Exactly. So I think social media, having a community that really stood by me, really played a big part in getting the brand out there and making it known. And I also just think, again, the uniqueness, like as I said, it was something that I wanted that we didn't really have in South Africa.
Yeah.
And I think, we associate like this kind of jewelry, to American culture, where you see like your rappers like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj wearing their iStyles, wearing a chain that's $200,000, and you kind of like disassociate yourself from this is something that I can have myself.
Yeah.
To actually, this is affordable luxury jewelry. It's not a fake. That some people might say it is fake jewelry. It's not a fake. It's a type of jewelry. It's a style of jewelry. It's a type of material, that I think really resonated with the South African market.
Yeah, even literally for me, I was like, we don't have this.
Looking
Looking for something like this, and specific jewelry, like you're saying, it's quality stuff. Like, I'm very picky on that especially. But do you think your friends and the audience being able to believe in you started because you believed in yourself, or is it like, do you think there's a link there?
Definitely. I think one of my superpowers is having like delusional optimism. I think besides anything, I really do believe in myself.
Okay.
And I know there's a point that you wanted to touch on a bit later, but I really believe in myself because of the things that God says about me. And I internalize that stuff so deeply.
Take it seriously.
Like, I take it seriously. I take it.
He's not joking.
He's not joking. So, yeah, and I think it's also a reflection, like having a community that also reaffirms the kind of things that you're thinking, like, no, this is good. Like, I think what I'm doing here is good. And then you have someone that tells you this is good. Like, I think, again, like social media is such a powerful weapon where it can be used for good, but it can also be used like negatively. I think one thing that I struggled with in the beginning was posting something. You can have 100 good comments saying, I love this. Yeah. But that one comment that says, no, this is fake, or this is not nice, or
like,
whatever.
Takes you off.
Yeah, and you sit and you dwell on that, and you internalize it, and kind of it disrupts how you see yourself and what you're trying to do. So yeah, I think, just standing on the things that you believe in yourself, like the things that you say about yourself, the things that God says about you, and then finding things in your everyday life to reaffirm that really does help in any situation, not even just business, just in life in general.
For anything. I think, we'll definitely be touching on believing in yourself in terms of asking. Because it's one thing to ask, like you could have asked and said, oh, this is too much, or I can't do it, So we'll definitely get into how you can feel worthy enough to get that, because that's an important part. Before you can receive it, you have to be like, okay, I can receive it.
The scripture says, believe that what you've asked, you've already
received. Exactly. Let's move now into the transition. What happened? Why did you... what had happened?
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So remember I said I was studying?
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
I was studying.
Doing masters?
I was doing my masters. And obviously education is not cheap. It's not free.
Hey.
So it got to a point where I was finishing.
Okay.
And I always laugh at this story because, not many people know this, but like at some point I wanted to drop out.
Really?
I promise you.
To focus fully on the business.
Yeah. Okay. Like also was also getting over studying because I had extended another year because my business at some point was taking up so much of my time I had to extend.
Yeah.
And in my third year, we had load shedding, right?
Yeah.
We were dealing with load shedding.
Oh my gosh.
And I was about to start working at 8. I remember as I turned on my laptop, the power went off. And I wanted to connect my laptop to charge, and my laptop died. And like small things that really make you have make you crash
No,
out.
literally, like on your last show, it's like that's enough to push you off the edge.
So I spoke to my friend. She was also doing a master's at the time, and we were just venting about how this is tough. And I said, I don't think this is for me, And then she was like, you better go tell your parents how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And then I went, my dad was not home. So I went into my parents' room and my mom was sitting on the bed. And I said, look, I don't think this is for me anymore. Like, what do you mean? I was like, no, I don't think I can do it. She was like, you are at the last leg of your master's. All you have to do is just write your paper and submit it. And you're telling me that you don't feel like it anymore. She was like, God forbid.
Oh, okay.
She's like, God forbid.
Said no.
She's like, this is the devil working. She said, you will finish in Jesus' name.
Wow.
She was like, oh, because you think you're making money now. Like, you know what to do.
Hey, now you can make your own decisions.
Exactly.
Drop out.
She said, she's like, you better not even tell your father about this idea. You just go, wait for the power to come back on, and you go and do your work.
Okay.
And that was the end of the conversation.
You said, okay.
I said, okay. So no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your advice.
Oh, wow.
And then I went back. So yeah, when I completed my master's, my parents were like, this is great that you have this business, but like, what's your plan here? And I think even now that I'm in corporate, I realized that there was so much wisdom that I was lacking back then.
Okay.
Like a business is not just run on social media alone or on your friends alone.
Literally.
There's so much behind, a business, making a business sustainable, number one, and then number two, scaling a business.
Yeah.
And I think when my parents asked me, what's your plan here? I was just like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And
Just
that's
gonna
not
keep going with the flow.
And that's not really a plan, And also at the time, I think there were just so many other factors at play, and I was also young.
Yeah.
When I started my business, I was 23.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the time, I was, I think, 24, 25. I was 25.
Yeah.
And
Fresh.
I just realized that there were also so many things that I didn't know.
Okay.
So my parents were like, go and give corporate a shot. And at the time, I also had a mentor that is an entrepreneur, but also started out in corporate and said, there's so many things that you will learn in corporate that you might not get in your first couple of years of being an entrepreneur, especially of running a small business. So he also advised me, go into corporate. And also, the great thing about being young is you can really do everything that you want to do.
No, literally.
You don't have to box yourself into one thing.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that for me, I think when I got at the kind of industry that I work in, it's very intensive, that I realized I couldn't really do both.
Okay.
But, at the time I said, let me just go and see what it's like.
Go and see, yeah.
Also, having an extra income is not a bad thing.
It's like, sure.
It's great.
Actually.
You have your business, and then also you have, on a specific day every single month, you have an income.
Yeah.
So that also allows you to breathe.
So you can take a deep breath.
Exactly.
I'm sure you're glad, as much as we can see our parents as being insensitive sometimes when they just I don't care what you want to say, go do this. But I'm sure you're glad that you actually firstly completed the master's.
Yeah, I really am. I actually don't think I would have gotten my job without that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think, as you mentioned in your intro, as much as, my degrees aren't in finance or in ecom, I think the level of education as well made me qualify for what I was doing.
Yeah.
So everything, that's why your parents have wisdom, because they have foresight. Sometimes you can't see things that they can see.
No, literally, they do have more experience. As much as we think we know everything, they're deciding we don't. They probably have been there where they were also trying
to figure it out. Exactly.
So they've seen what works best. But okay. Now let's talk about that entrance into corporate. You know how it is in SA with jobs and that. I don't like to talk about it because when you speak about it, you make it real for yourself also.
Yeah, but it is real.
Yeah,
it
is real. But there's a way still somehow. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
How was your entry in, how was the process of asking? How did you feel? Yeah, tell us about that beginning journey.
Yeah, it was literally a referral, and I think, and I actually I have a video about this. Like, number one, it started with asking God, okay, I'm making the switch. Like, please guide me. Like,
Yeah.
how do I do this? Because I did apply. I applied to lots of jobs.
You were doing the same.
I was
yeah.
doing the normal routes. You go on Indeed, you go on LinkedIn, you go on
Everything.
whatever, and you apply. And I mean, I think the job market is incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
When people say that there are no jobs, it really is not a joke. Like, we have youth unemployment sitting at what? Is it 46%?
Yeah.
It's like in 10 people under the age of 35, almost 5 of them don't have a job.
It's insane.
It's scary. It really is scary. And I think when you apply for jobs, you start to realize that it becomes a reality where you see that actually, even on LinkedIn, like there'll be a post that was put up 24 hours ago and it shows you 100 plus people have already applied to this post. It also becomes discouraging.
Yeah.
So I realized my strategy wasn't working.
Strategy, I was thinking of that literally.
Yeah, I was like, no, this strategy of cold applying is really not working. Also, I think the way that these systems are built these days, like your CV literally has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And that was before like the boom of, this is before ChatGPT.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is what? A year and a bit old, 2 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was literally before ChatGPT, before like the boom of AI. So you didn't really have a tool to say, please, here's the post, here's my CV, please sync everything so that I can get past the automatic reading system. You had to really like refine your CV for each post that you were applying to. So I said, no, this system is not working.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, no, God, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? And it was like, think around the people that are around you who can help you. Where do you want to work as well? You know, what kind of field you're looking in? And I was like, actually, I have people that work in the companies that I want to work in. Before I actually wanted to get into consultancy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had a friend that worked at McKinsey. And for example, what actually encouraged me is that they get paid for referrals.
Okay, yeah,
like,
they do.
They do. Like, if you refer someone and that person gets hired, you get paid for that.
Literally.
So
just for getting them in.
Exactly, because it's an asset to the company. It's a value to the company. So I said, actually, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So at first, there were two friends that I asked, the one in McKinsey and the other one that worked for another consulting company, and I had another friend that worked at Nedbank, and I said, hey, here's my CV. Do you think that you can get this into the hands of the right person?
Yeah.
And they were like, bet, say less. That's the least that I can do.
Wow.
And that was on the Friday.
Yeah.
On the Monday, I got a call from my former boss.
Not a few hours later, basically.
On the Monday morning, before 10 a.m., I woke up to a call. Not woke up, but I had a call of an unknown number. Hi. She's like, hi, I'm so-and-so from Nedbank. Your CV is on my desk. Do you have a few minutes to talk?
Yeah.
And we spoke, and, she was quite impressed about, my business, because, again, I was applying to the digital space.
Okay.
Because you also have to play to your strengths.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, as much as you can have delusional faith, it's also great to also just be a bit realistic sometimes.
Be real, yeah.
Just try and get your foot in the door at least, So we spoke about that, and I tried to position myself really well. And she was like, okay, cool. There's a job that kind of fits your profile. Can we set up an actual interview? This is the date for it, and then we'll do this properly.
Wow.
And that was literally it.
Compared to the cold applying.
And let me tell you something, all the jobs that I applied to, I think maybe one got back to me.
Really?
That way. And it was 3 weeks later. I even had forgotten that I applied to that job.
Who is this calling? What is this about?
Exactly. But me literally just saying, okay, who can help me out here? And even if it's literally just getting your foot into the door.
Yeah.
Just saying, okay, please at least just get my CV there. I'll do the rest. I'll try my best afterwards, which is the important part, it's not always going to be a silver spoon, but at least what you can appreciate, what people can do for you is at least just open the door. Yeah. And I think God uses people to do that for you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who tend to be scared to ask also, it's the thing that the person who's giving it to you is also happy to do so. Like you're saying, they might be getting paid for it. They might, get some incentive. It actually reminds me, Because when I saw you spoke about referrals, it reminds me of some guy I was dating. And where he was working, they used to pay them for referrals.
Yes, it's very common. It's very common, actually.
So he'd just be like, oh, okay, I need some money for this. Let me go find someone who wants a job. Which of my friends asked me. Like, people actually are willing to help,
Definitely.
To say, hey, please refer me. They're like, oh, yeah, this is great. Great timing.
Literally.
They can do the thing for you.
It's like you'd be surprised how many people, like sometimes you're even doing them a favor.
Yeah,
Like you'd be
literally.
surprised, but you'll never know if you don't ask.
If you don't ask,
And
just
also like it takes nothing away from asking,
It can't be. But I guess we'll get into the processes of asking. But I wanted to speak on how there's that energy of like hustling and trying to stress to get something done versus asking God, and he just gives you a clear strategy. He's like, here, do this and this, because I think that tends to be a thing where it's like you feel like you have to do so much to get something.
I get that.
Which you do have to work hard, but it's like also you just have to use your brain, be strategic, be intentional.
Yeah. I think another thing that I've internalized is that scripture where it says the peace of God passes all understanding. Like when you surrender something to God, and surrendering doesn't look like, okay, God, I've asked you for it, but I'm also going to be trying on the side to do it my way.
Yeah.
It means like,
Literally.
I'm giving this to you. This is so above me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do here, but I know I've asked you for this. Please, can you guide me? I think that request also comes with some level of peace as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always come immediately. But I think when you start fighting against the tide long enough, you also get tired.
Yeah, literally.
Like
You're burning out.
You burn out. I really get it when I hear people say, or I read a tweet or I watch a video and someone's saying, I've been applying for over 1,000 jobs and I have not landed one interview. I get that level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
I get that level of tiredness, that level of frustration to say, I've been trying something my way for so long and I'm just not cracking the code.
Yeah.
So there is a level of like peace in just realizing that, okay, you know what? This is so above me. My way is clearly not working. Let me center God in everything.
Yeah, literally.
And I made a video about that, and there was a little bit of controversy to say what happens when you don't hear God's voice or God makes you wait.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I've been praying for 3 years and I still am unemployed. And it's tough. It's tough to answer that because it is still a reality where you can ask God for something and you will wait.
Yeah.
You will wait.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
I think that's where your faith is tested. And I think that's where it requires you to be still. And I think that's where it requires you to also understand God's character.
Yeah.
And also know God is not predictable.
And he's not in a rush.
He's not in a rush. Your time is not his time,
Yeah.
And I think in the moment, it's really difficult to see something, especially when you're in a place of desperation. Like when you're in the valley,
you're like, please.
Like, please, I need this,
Like
and people,
right now.
And people are in a place where they need it right now.
Yeah.
But do you know what's so funny? Even you look back and you land your job 3 years later, and as much as you were saying to yourself the entire 3 years, or you're saying to God, I really need this.
Yeah.
How did you make it those 3 years?
Actually.
Isn't it crazy how God just provides for you?
He was still showing up.
You will still make it. It might not look like the way you need it to look like, but you will still make it.
Yeah.
And that's what it means to also lean on God, and just surrender. So it's personal growth as well.
Yeah.
Because not everyone knows what you're going through, and also you will grow in that moment. And I think that also comes with a level of wisdom. And there's also that song that says, if I knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't panic or I wouldn't stress. And that's literally what it is. Like sometimes I'm in a position where I'm going through something and like my natural response is to actually start panicking.
Yeah.
And be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And I remember all the times that God has come through and I'm like, actually...
Wait, I'll be okay.
Wait a minute. I'll be okay.
I think even speaking on now with like feminine energy, you think of it a lot with like the clothes you wear or just the makeup you wear, but it's more about that thing of surrendering, of being able to relax in who you are as a woman.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, knowing who you are, who God said you are. And then also being able to receive and being able to say, okay, I don't need to fight for it. I don't need to rush for it. I can not panic, That's like, I was like, relax.
And that's why
Be
I
still.
needed certain type of man that will tell me to be still, because I'm not trying to go through all that I went through to
No,
be always in a rush,
literally.
panicking, trying to do things myself. Like, you just need someone to mimic that energy to also help you keep you in that space.
Yeah, that's safe.
That safe space, that
Relaxed
space that
space.
things will be okay. Don't panic,
I think it's actually an important thing we can go into now, the balance of the feminine and masculine energy. So I think to be able to ask, someone has to feel that safety of like, okay, maybe you've experienced it before, or you've had parents who raise you to be someone to feel safe to ask, safe to go for what you want. And you've spoken about your dad a lot. So I want to know, like,
That was
how was it growing up and
I used
asking?
to be scared to ask my dad for certain things.
Oh, same.
I used to be scared, especially when it involved like large amounts of money.
You're just like,
School trip,
oh my.
like new laptop,
Yo.
like, and I'd always have to go and ask my mom, and we would plot like how to ask, like, okay, your dad is in a good mood today, go and ask him now.
Wow.
So yeah, no,
I guess it built that strategy
it
of,
made me
let me
tough.
think first.
It literally made me tough. But you know what? I think what I also learned from asking for things from my parents is that, you know what? Whether they say no or yes, you'll survive.
No,
You'll
literally,
live
you'll
after
live
it.
to see another day.
Literally, if you don't get what you want, like, literally life continues.
Yeah.
And I think that's also the mentality that I had when I would just ask people, like, hey, please can you like refer me? Here's my CV. Do you mind like chatting to your boss? Are there any openings or any positions? Like,
Yeah.
even if they say no, even if they don't do anything with your CV, at least you asked,
Yeah, literally.
Like, the worst thing that they can really say is no.
No, for real. I think for me with my parents, they would just always say no.
Really?
Like for the first 6 times.
And then
And
the seventh time?
So now I built that thing of just keep asking. Someone's going to say no. I mean, someone's going to say yes eventually.
But that's a really important mentality to have, because you should just keep, I say, keep
the
knocking
thing.
on the door until it opens.
Keep knocking, literally.
Same.
Don't, if you ask God yesterday, and it's also, I guess, not begging, but it's that thing of asking because you know that I can get this. Like, I can get this. You had your business, you had that idea of, I can be in this position to get this job.
Yeah.
I have a place here, I can offer something to them also.
Exactly.
Not like now where you're like, guys, please let me in.
Yeah.
Okay, so please share with us some lessons and challenges you've had now that you're in corporate, since you spoke about how before you were in entrepreneurship and it was the thing of, there's some things you won't learn, until you get into corporate. What are some things that it's brought out in you? Or just good business lessons?
Things that I'm learning. I think it's what I said earlier, and it's something that I made a video on last week, where I was actually watching another podcast where they were interviewing the founder of Beauty on Tap, Matebe, and she spoke about how, she's built, what she's done with Beauty on Tap is amazing in such like a short period. But she actually was in corporate. She was an investment banker. Okay. She was a CA, and in her podcast, she said, even if you have an amazing idea, go into corporate, even if it's just for 2 years, right? And she spoke about how working in a highly pressurized environment made her a high performer. For me, and as I said, what I realized when I was running my small business is that there were so many things that I didn't understand, right? And again, the main thing for me that I'm trying my best to learn and absorb is systems. How does an organization of this magnitude run? And how are so many people entrusted to do their job and do it well that it contributes to the success of the organization?
Yeah.
And I think you will realize really quickly that the system is greater than the individual. And that's what these legacy companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple do really well, is building systems that outperform the individual and also make it easy for the next person to come in and continue to advance the organization, whether you're there or not. There's a quote that says, the goal is not to live forever, it's to build things that do. And I resonate with that so much, because I would love to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
I think I have such a higher calling on my life, and sometimes it's frustrating, like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like,
literally, yeah.
I can't just be here to exist,
Literally.
wake up, go to work, come back, see my friends, and that's it. Like, there has to be something that's bigger than me, and it's so inspiring watching people build things that outlive them. You know, that when people still speak about the legacy that this person has left behind, the lessons that people leave behind, the organizations leave behind, you know, also how it helps other people. Like, it can't always be about you.
No,
you know?
literally. Yeah.
And I think, like, you know, some things that people bash corporate. Oh, corporate is such a terrible place. Oh, corporate culture, whatever. I don't necessarily experience that, and I'm very grateful. Even when I was looking for a job, I did pray. I said, God, please don't make my experience be like every other experience in corporate, that it's like, I hate my job, I hate going to work, I'm miserable. I don't feel like that.
Okay.
I really don't feel like that.
That's great.
Yeah, and there are a lot of places where people work that they don't feel like that, you know, and it means that the people that when they founded this organization, the ethos, the culture is ingrained in like how the system runs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've read the book Atomic Habits, but at the core of that book is systems. If you want to create a good habit that fundamentally makes you a better person, you need to create a system that makes doing that habit easy. Right? And I think you can apply that principle to any part of your life. You know, you need to create systems that make doing the job or achieving the objective easy, you know? And I think I really need to learn that when it comes to business. How can I build a system that makes success easy? You know? Because there is a winning formula.
Literally.
Some of these companies, they know what the formula is.
We don't have to be hustling and bustling.
It doesn't have to be a struggle. Like people really are making money.
And they do it. It seems so easy, but it's like, there is a way.
There is a way, and it doesn't have to take you 20 years to build a successful company.
No, literally. You can watch it grow.
If you get the formula right, you might not get it right in the beginning, but that's trial and error. But you will get it right at some point. And once you get it.
I love how, like, with business, even with corporate, I watch Myron Golding, who speaks a lot about principles of business in the Bible and how God has given those kind of blueprints, those principles, those systems, you know, to make it successful. So it's even like asking God, what system should I use? How can I make this the best? How can I make this as relaxed as, like you said, even asking for your job, you said, I don't want that. Like, you can ask for anything, literally. And
even on that point, besides the systems, there's also certain qualities, like you spoke about, like things like challenges and wins. There are also certain qualities that I believe corporate teaches you. And for me, the biggest thing has been discipline, rather. And even when you look in the Bible, like, God speaks about discipline a lot.
So much.
Like, a lot.
I had to get used to it.
And he speaks about how he doesn't like a lazy, like, don't be a lazy worker. Don't be lazy.
He said, you get gifts and now you want to hide it.
Literally.
Do something.
If you are lazy, you'll die.
Literally. You have nothing.
So even things like that, like, you know, besides the systems, just learning that you need to be disciplined in the things that you're working. You need to be a steward in the things that you're working towards. Like, even when you run your own small business, like, it's like your income is a result of your effort, especially when it's just you. When it's just you, you don't work today.
It's a reflection of you, of what you're up to.
Exactly. Like, yes, you'll get to a point where the business can run without you. But in the beginning, if you don't work,
it shows.
It does show.
It shows. I think, like, that's such a big thing. We've actually touched on it in a previous episode of how your business reflects you. So sometimes you may be thinking, why is it not working? It's like, oh, you aren't disciplined in your own life. You haven't built that in just like the small thing of your day to now take it into your business and actually see it grow. But yeah, that's such a big thing. So I hope this has really helped people, like, think of how to ask, think of the qualities to get into, think of the fact that you can ask, have the audacity to ask. And actually, I want to challenge people listening, and maybe even us too, to have the audacity to ask for something new, something bigger this week or this month, you know. I'm thinking of mine and I'm like, hey, but I can't tell you to be audacious, and I'm not being audacious. And maybe I'll share in the next week of what I'll be asking for.
I already know what I'm asking for next.
You ready?
I already know what I want to ask him for, or what I am asking for next. And you should be audacious.
Yeah,
like,
you should be.
You serve a really big God.
Literally.
I think, like, sometimes, like, this year, I know we're about to close, but like this year, I was reading a lot of, like, the Old Testament books. And, like, obviously in the Old Testament, like, God did a lot of crazy miracles.
No, literally.
And, you know,
outperforming.
Hey, and, like, do you know, like, how crazy it would be to see, like, the seapot?
Right.
Like, in this day and age.
Like, right now, like,
Or like, you know, when they said like, if you, I forgot what the verse was, but someone asked God to strike a rock. And I was reading like the geographical like context behind that. And the rock was not like, you know, a rock. It was like the size of a mountain. And the mountain split. Like
The things he was doing.
the things he was doing, also
Same
the
God.
things that people were asking God for back then.
Actually,
And
audacious.
God was like, I bet, you know?
No,
bet.
literally. Like, come, sure, since you asked,
Since you asked.
ask and you shall receive.
Exactly. So it just speaks to like God's character, and God's character is like consistent throughout the Bible. Like he consistently is doing things,
Literally.
like really big things, like really crazy things throughout the Bible. And it doesn't stop. Like just
Yeah.
because, you know, we are now living in a completely different age. You know, it says that God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore.
Exactly.
So the same God that was doing that back then
Do it right now.
can do right now.
Like, it's up to
Literally.
your faith. I think even maybe if you're asking for something, you're not getting it, ask for more.
Yeah.
Make it bigger.
In
God's like,
fact,
you're doing too little.
In fact, you say, "Oh, you're asking for this." Come on, man.
Dude,
Test me
ask for some more.
Test me a little bit more.
Like,
than
be
that.
for real.
Yeah.
Do you know who I am? Imagine he's looking at us like, that's all?
That's why I say God's always a girl dad. Like he's
Oh,
looking at
no,
us like, be so
literally.
for real right
It's
now.
like, dude, you're my child. Come on.
Yeah.
So, it speaks on the identity, knowing who you are, knowing that you can receive it. Just ask. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad to have had you today. I'm so
Thank you.
happy with how this conversation went. I put empowered people because, I mean, guys, go see her TikTok, go see her Instagram. She's living life from asking. If you think of it, like, take it back. It's like it all started from asking, for being audacious enough, positioning yourself correctly.
It's literally just having that like delusional faith. You know, they say, you know, you must believe that you have the same mind that is in Christ.
Yeah.
So, one of my favorite verses is Jeremiah 29, verse 11. The King James Version says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you." So, like, consistently remind yourself of how God thinks or how God sees you.
Yeah.
And then that will also impact your thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's why I always tell people it's so important to watch what you consume. Like social media is so vast and there's so many things on social media.
Anything.
And there's also a lot of like negative things on
Yeah.
social media. So that's why I always say it's so important to fill like your thoughts, also the conversations that you have with people of encouraging things. Like, yes, there'll always be negative things to talk about, that's life.
Yeah.
But it should not be the majority of your thoughts.
Don't dwell on it.
Don't dwell
Make
on
it your whole life.
Yeah, there's so much more to life to look forward to.
So renewing your mind, meditating on his word, because he wants us to know how he thinks about
how
us.
he thinks
literally,
about us. It's so important.
to be able. But we could probably go on. I have so much still to
Yeah,
say.
if we don't cut it here.
We're going to cut it here for today. But thank you so much. You guys know the challenge. Be audacious to ask for something new this week. Take up your energy. Prepare yourself. Feel worthy of it before you ask. Or even ask God to help you to feel worthy for what you're asking for.
100%.
You know? And let us know as to what you ask for, how it goes for you, whether it's a new job in 2026, whether it's a new promotion, whether it's a new place to stay, whatever it is. Like literally, like you said, God can do anything, right? There's no limit to what you can ask for. So let us know where they can find you online.
Yeah, you can find my socials is literally my name and surname, Nana Aikins, both on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. It's literally my name and surname as it is.
As it is, I guess we'll put it down for them.
Thank you.
But yeah, thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please comment down below what you're asking for this week. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay audacious.